Okay, so good evening, everyone. Tonight, I should say. So, good evening, everyone. Tonight, we are focusing the topic on development sector. The main issue that causes everyone intrigue is how to get jobs. And that's where I really want someone to get the information sorted, and also I wanted to hear from the horse's mouth. Tonight, we have a guest speaker, Mr. Kallol Saha, who is development sector evangelist, and he has actually contributed for about more than a decade in the development sector. And I would like to come across with certain questions from upcoming professionals with him, and he was keen to answer those queries over our radio session, which is Career Coffee Show. Good evening, sir. Welcome, Basil.
And thanks. I'm honored, and really looking forward to your show as well as through your show to the young people who would like to see a career in development sector. Thanks again. Yeah.
So, my first question to you is what and how the upcoming professionals can see growth in the development sector?
Okay. So, see, now I think a lot depends on how do we define the development sector per se. One major issue is thin boundary and wide applicability of the term. As a nation, I think we need more clarity on development sector in terms of fund, function, and functionary framework. But saying that, I'll talk about three major trends of current trends. First, if we are talking about humanitarian initiatives, we need to prepare ourselves to start with nominal material resources. Our commitment to the cause can drive people's love and respect. Over a period of time, we generate a trust-based social capital. Eventually, one can evolve as an influencer, and society would see a value proposition in what we are doing, and then you can monetize that. That is number one. The second take, which is essentially a dominant trend of social entrepreneurship, we need to identify what are the idea where our society needs impactful enterprises.
Okay.
It is important to have certain level of preparedness in terms of product, process, and the project we are talking about. To do that, one should carefully choose subjects of study and keep himself updated with the dominant trends in the domain. Measurable impact is again the key to survival here. So aligning our work with primarily for the next 1 decade, I would say, sustainable development goal is driving all the social enterprises mostly. Mm-hmm. So aligning our work with SDGs may help us a lot. And third, I will talk about the corporate social responsibility, which is a rising front. See, my perspective is a bit different here. For me, CSR is essentially a debt servicing promise. We have done or planning to do something that is meant for personal gain at a cost that a local society or local socio-economic setup has to bear. So how can we repay this debt? There are standard formulas which has been worked out for now last 1 decade or more. So the lessons on legal framework, the frameworks like social return on investment, and negotiations with empathy. These things can help growing a new professional. If he understands all these things, have a basic idea of this thing, then you can get onto this easily. So that's my response on these.
Well, upcoming professionals, you need to be as fit as a fiddle because you need to storm the weather with that proficiency to what exactly we are focusing today. And over to the next question, what are the various areas in which the upcoming professionals can look upon to work in the sector post-pandemic? Since we know that there are a lot of changes that have happened during the pandemic time. Even the industries have adapted to work from home policies. They have accepted the remotely work professionals, work for that particular projects in the IT sector. for that matter, how it has left an indelible impact post-pandemic in the development sector?
Thanks for asking this question because this is really important. Pandemic has changed our way of life in general, but I think that quote unquote development sector has been one among the few hard hit frontiers in either way. It has we have done with some existing opportunities, or we are also looking at few new opportunities. The procedural implications of pandemic has been, as you have said, so we are getting into a lifestyle which is more online, where there is more remote work opportunities, and where at the same time is there has been very limited ground support, and which impacts the development organizations a lot, because development is all about getting into the ground and soiling your hand. So that has been kind of stopped for more than a year. So that's difficult. But at the same time, I see few structural changes here, which is important to understand. See, so pandemic has helped. There has been kind of, I would say, a great opportunity in terms of health and emergency care that has been now evolving as a sector to drive. It seems it would drive employment for some time now. Emergence of remote work economy powered by IoT and AIT, IoT and artificial intelligence. These are taking over. So as development sector worker or as upcoming professionals, we need to have a hands-on knowledge on integrating our business processes. So the way that we are doing on ground, how to integrate this with IoT and AI. I also keep my bet on smart technology, digital education, fintech solutions, and climate smart farming. These are the areas where there is growth opportunities. The critical question is how a student from a development can really dent into that. So I believe the critical point is students of development has a critical role to either create a good pilot or scale the business by creating the solution with the society. Many a time there are good technologies, but it fails to break the that break-even volume. That's where the role of a development professional is quite critical. The other part I would like to say, beyond all evils, the pandemic has somehow forced us to rethink our socio-economic model of operation. In pre-COVID times, our economy was based on few trade and industrial hubs as our doorway of a centralized economy. So we have certain industrial cities, we have certain cities or metro cities, and where all the job was there. But now we are appreciating and being things like vocal for local and Atmanirbhar Bharat. So these are essentially a step towards decentralization of economy. Students of development has an important role to play here.
Okay.
They are here to kind of continue democratizing this economic space in favor of local area, and at the same time we need to get benefited from the same. So yes, with easier norms, professionals can now really start farming or a food business or a MSME unit under Make in India or Stand Up India program. Things are becoming easier. We are talking about easier norms for doing business. So that is ease of business, ease of life. These things are now kind of dominant trend. And that's where a student of a development sector or a young professionals, they can actually get into this much easier than the earlier times. So this is something that's where we need to actually focus on and create a vibrant economy, because this is possible now, because now we see that there is a level of decentralization and democratization happening.
Absolutely, sir. And I really want to add one more point to what you have said right now, is that there are a lot of programs and initiatives, especially upskilling women during the pandemic time, has reinstated a lot of initiatives and government program schemes as well. So, for example, I would like to focus on one of the empowered skill program for women especially is E-Skill Her campaign, which is actually helping to give certain kind of boost to women to start doing small scale business wherever they're sitting in the remote areas or in major cities, and they can seek the skill training accessibility through the initiative taken by NSDC. Do you have any inputs to further to this program? Do you have any idea about it? Can you please elaborate about this program?
See, I am not really. I mean, I know a number of programs that has been taken up during this period for employing, providing new employment opportunities or alternative employment opportunities to women who were into otherwise in other farm jobs or non-farm jobs, and now doing that. And we have been, I would say, me and my clients have been beneficiary of such programs. We have done like programs with, we are working with NABARD in eShakti. We are working with skill development programs where in a matter of 15 days, many of our self-help groups and women organizations have been trained and started manufacturing of all the essential kits that this COVID needed. So there's masks and sanitizers, and there are good examples how these things are happening. But so there are that kind of programs, and we need to really build up on that. That's one take, and yes, I would say that's how we look at it. And we have actually during the pandemic, we also demanded that there are few sectors which has not yet opened to the women members of the family. Now should we should try to make these things also open for the women, women entrepreneurs or women workers. So if you see, the heavy industries, mining, and these kind of things where you require technicians, and it is dominantly a male dominant sector has been traditionally.
Yeah.
Now during this pandemic, we are seeing companies are coming ahead. Mostly, I would say corporate companies are coming ahead to train women employees into this and getting them employed. We are demanding more of it because yes, still it is done under the CSR program of certain corporates, which is a matter of choice, but it should essentially come up as a structured program. And that you are saying that there is a program that NSDC has already taken up. I am told about it, but I am not really sure how is it structured. So that would be my input. There are sectors where traditionally women has not been involved, and this is an opportunity because now we are having technologies which are which supports women.
Yeah.
All this, there are technologies easy to do things, many things that gets done by the algorithms. So many things becoming easier, and women are better poised to handle these opportunities. So there is, again, I would say this kind of initiatives will only democratize the field and create a level ground for men and women both. So that's a positive, I would say.
Absolutely, sir. And these programs are, we are actually helping meeting more the eyes towards these programs and skill based programs, I should rather say, because it's a dire need for upcoming professionals to understand that more than their opportunities in IT sector, in corporates, multinational companies, they can also think forward with enhancing their skills and come forward with small businesses, establishing startups, establishing their entities, small entities which can leverage the job opportunities for the other upcoming generations, I should say, who are getting graduated and they are fresh IT graduates, they are IT professionals, but still they need a certain assistance, they need certain kind of value based learnings, and which we as a professionals can definitely help them across and provide this sort of information. Coming towards the next question that I come across more often is there any option available to get associated with big entities? Because normally the upcoming professionals want to get associated first with the big entities, international NGOs that can help to to make their resumes readable, and that is the only point and the factor they really run after these brands and get associated with good NGO names, and how they can grow career if they are not associated with these international NGOs or brand existence, and what are the other suitable options they can opt to make their career.
Right. Traditionally, if you look at last 30, 40 years of how development sector has evolved, yes, development sector has always been defined by big entities and international NGOs at one level. Yes, and that's how, if you are in development and if you are not with an international entity, so there is an identity crisis. Sometimes somebody may, think about this.
Yes, sir.
But I suppose now that's where I was talking about that boundary line is now thin, and it's all about creating identity of your own. That's what I believe. So my take on this is like this. See, career is about creating a safety net around us out of our capability. That's a very simple kind of definition or understanding I have. The basic needs. So it goes by the Maslow's need theory as well. The more capable we are, bigger the safety net. Over a period of time, when safety nets are secured, we search for an identity. Big entities and international NGOs are considered as great employers as they have mastered this model over a period of time, increasing safety and identity quotient over time. Now, the point is, if we really look at the development sector, how it happened, I mean, who started UN or who started World Bank or maybe other organizations, as everybody says, that Rome is not built in a day.
Yeah.
For many of these organizations were created by individuals who were not really part of an big entity to begin with. If we really look at still the biggest development worker for me, Mahatma Gandhi is the biggest development worker. So if we look at his journey, he started doing his work, people got associated and it became a movement. And then a number of Gandhian organizations were created. If we really look at Red Cross, if we really look at other humanitarian organizations, I was working with TechnoServe, which is a US-based organization working at 40 countries. But it all started with the person who visited a village at Uganda, Uganda, and then he wanted to do something there. And that basic understanding, he took it forward. He tried to extend himself and his services to the society. So that's how things gets done. And that's what exactly I am personally also trying to do. So the message is, wherever we are, we need to put our best effort to influence people surrounding us through our work and move ahead in life. Now, how we are going to do it, that's a personal choice. So when, again, coming to personally speaking, as a matter of practice, I would like university freshers to get into a grassroots organization for 3 to 5 years, try to understand how things happen, how to shape the community or how to shape the people's thinking, and then take a mid-career academic break probably for a year to get into a good university for understanding policy issues and strategic issues. And then you can probably try to join a big entity or commit to the things of your choice. In the meantime, you have some resources with you, and you start doing that another 10 years ahead, wherever you are, you must be making a name of your work. And this is the time when you actually then go big. So this is a standard, I would say, standard setting. Now, how fast we can do that, that's the way we innovate and we get, if we define success. So then after 15 years or 20 years, you need to surely get you will be surely getting acknowledgement for the society and the citizens and the nations for the things that you have done. And in the meantime, you would be able to create a socio-economic model of your own. So there is, yes, there is no hurry, or you need not to really begin with the big entities, or, there is no point becoming unrestful for to think about big, small, or these things. For me, I would say let us start. And there is a lot of opportunities in development sector today. As you were saying, 20 years back, when I joined a non-profit, I even don't know what a non-profit does.
Okay.
I hardly used to know what is meant by watershed, or how a handicraft made by one of the weaver group at Bhagalpur, or a tasar shari that we use, how is it going to impact the livelihood of the persons on ground?
Mm-hmm.
Now today you have many of these things are there. Even if it is not there, you can do a bit research and choose your subject. What is it that you would like to do? And then there are 10 programs that asks fresher, okay, come and join Startup India, or come and join, this Mudra Bank supported programs, come and join NSDC, or set up an MSME unit under Atmanirbhar Bharat. So there are opportunities, and you have a range of choice.
Absolutely.
This is the best part, I would say, for the development sector people, because finally we want to work for people. So we want to do something impactful. So this is how we have the choice to shape our career.
Absolutely, sir. And with the smart technologies, digital education, fintech solutions, AI, analytics, that are playing a predominant role for the professionals who can think their careers in the development sector. And for that, I should say that, a professional should keep an ear to the ground and don't go on a wild goose chase. Instead, think rationally on the grounds that what is better and best opportunity that you can avail and grow your career. Because I have this question to be asked more often, and it was quite inquisitive to understand the essential for the upcoming professionals how they can opt and apply for job positions rolled out in semi autonomous bodies and national schemes and autonomous organizations like NITI Ayog, NSDC, Ministry of Rural Development. I know there are other autonomous bodies, PSUs, MSME wings as well. But today, because we are focusing mainly on the development side sector, I would like to focus on how these upcoming professionals can apply jobs to such roles.
Yes, see, this is good to see that kind of jobs are now coming on regular basis, and now development sector as such, I would say this is a great time for the development sector, because that opportunities are coming up. But yes, to materialize this, we need regular engagement and sincerity of our effort. That's the primary thing. There is often this debate about the permanent versus temporary, or as well as government versus private jobs. But for me, these divisions really doesn't exist. A job and a candidate remain attached till the time it works both ways. So with this principle, I suppose semi-autonomous bodies look for fixed-term consultants, mostly if you are looking at, with particular specific capabilities. So there are two things. You need to have a general understanding of how development happens. At the same time, it is always better to have a specialization or passion for which you would like to work with them, and for which they would also value you. So candidates with specific domain expertise and experience are often preferred for these roles. There are often freshers or mid-career roles. So how to do that? So probably these are few things that one can try. First, develop a passion for a subject of your choice. read, write, and get yourself trained on this along with your education or job wherever you are. You may be considering volunteering on such platforms, dedicating a small amount of time. If you are in the university, choose your electives and co-curriculars on the same line. You need to get hold of technical terms and trending discussions to use them back to the work you are doing, and sharing some meaningful article with your mentors, seasoned professionals, and well-wishers may surely help, because referrals matter. Surely nowadays referrals matter, and valid referrals matter. If you really look at the LinkedIn, so even when you are referring somebody, you have to write how do you know him, and so there is a matter of authenticity that comes, and that's where we are saying that authenticity is connected to sincerity, and these two together can help you.
Yeah.
As far as the specifics are concerned, again, aligning your choice with SDGs. And there is this NITI Ayog's district ranking frameworks, because a major initiative of NITI Ayog is aspirational district programs where development sector professionals are mostly getting in. So their ranking processes, their, the projects, schemes, idea about this, and familiarity of various result framework documents for the ministries we want to work with. These few things can be of help.
Okay.
So prepare yourself accordingly. Yes,
Well, if you want to weigh your worth in gold, that's absolutely what Sir is talking about. You have to study, you have to lock your horns with yourself, I should rather say, to discuss about your passion to yourself, and then definitely the parameters, the certain the tips I can say that we have shared over the radio station route today can help you to drive some good opportunity for yourself, and definitely it is going to help you in a way through a one-stop destination, which I call it as LinkedIn, how it is emerging as a social networking platform for development professionals. And with the help of this platform, do you think that aligning your choices with SDGs, NITI Ayog, and the other schemes can help them to earn internship opportunities and further the campus placements or full-time jobs to the bodies?
right. So are we talking about how LinkedIn platform is opening and
Emerging.
emerging
Yeah.
as a social networking platform, right?
Yes, sir.
And how is it going to help professionals to young professionals to get into a successful professional career?
Yeah.
So one thing I see, when we were graduating from the university, there was a situation. Yes, there was, it is still the end of closed economy and beginning of open era. There were few opportunities coming up, but universities and professors were not really upbeat about that. You're going to so professionals or professionally qualified people from the best institutions tend to become, soft-spoken. Many a times great works remain less represented, or great talents remain less represented. And there are not really such kind of forums where, you can represent your professional output. I think LinkedIn has been helping professionals and professionalism to break that barrier.
Exactly. And it's
Professional,
interesting. Yeah. It is
so
interesting. Sure.
professionals now can, write every bit of, to the extent they want to write. This platform gives, that's the beauty of this platform. So you can represent, this is what I am doing, this is what I am thinking, and this is how I want to go ahead. All these opportunities are available. At the same time, we are talking about these parallel skills. Now, my first posting, when I was immediately after the university, I got into a job from the campus.
Okay.
But the place where I was posted, I didn't have electricity by the end of the day when I comes back to my my office come residence. So we really didn't have those things that there are this parallel. Can you develop some parallel competencies, or can you read, write, or something? We have had our challenges. Now things are much more easier. If you just go to LinkedIn and You want to do, to work on certain skills, you can do that. And these are skills that are valued by the employers. And I think in future, essentially, many of the employers today are actually looking at your social networks. And when coming to professionals, it would be decided by a platform like LinkedIn. So a lot of data you are generating there. And that maybe before getting into the interview, even you are assessed. So that's how I think LinkedIn platform is quite important for professionals. And so a sincere effort to put your best work and profile in the platform, and approaching others is going to be of great help. It's going to be a great help. Yes.
So it's like, you're playing your cards right, and to turn the tide, you need to also upskill yourself and prove yourself whenever you are pitching to grow your networking. And for that, what are those major skills required, especially after pandemic? I really want to emphasize post-pandemic, guys, because situation has changed a lot. What earlier, as Sir has also specified and emphasized, earlier what the functionalities were working has streamlined now much way ahead. Flexibility of working, you need to be, as I said it earlier also, you have to be fit as a fiddle, you have to keep an ear to the ground. So what are the major skills that are required post pandemic, and will you suggest to the upcoming professionals to learn and to earn that skills?
Let's see. So, as part of as a part of development studies, we are supposed to learn few things. So I am keeping them off because that's general. That's we do. But apart from that, these few things probably is going to be of help. So one is essentially remote working itself, the whole technology domain of remote working, how to connect, how to network, how to share. This is one part that's going to be important. Second is presentation skills. When we started, it was only manual charts, and now it has gone from Microsoft PowerPoint to Prezi to different specific sites that are giving you a specific module for specific presentations.
Okay.
Presentation skills, yes. I mean, anywhere MS Office package is still considered now, is being considered as a very generalized package. So you can, if you are really going to make professional grade presentation, then probably you are going to use Prezi, or maybe you go to an online service provider like Canva. They make things beautiful, and using artificial intelligence, you can get your job done in 30 minutes. So this is something that you need to have with you. Working with multi-language, this is something important because nowadays we see there are various client comes to us seeking that, okay, I need to make this educational material in English and Hindi and these languages.
Multilingual, yeah.
Multilingual, yes. So how do we use those multilingual formats where to get the translators, automated translators, and so that's another domain, I would say. And as we are saying, that big data thing, that itself is a wherever it is. So data and analytics, and many places associate it with the spatial analytics. So maybe a basic understanding of how geographic information system works, because today now everything is geotagged. So these are few things now are becoming extended generalized capabilities. So just MS Office diploma may not be good enough. These are the areas where you should have some level of advanced capabilities. That would be probably of help when we are talking about post-pandemic work scenario.
Absolutely, sir. And remote working is the key essential skill which is required these days, and it is known as skill because the upcoming professionals see the Lumi thing, which is like getting associated with international NGOs, having head offices in the main cities and working over there. But working with the grassroots, working in the grassroots level actually will help them to hold their grip. And obviously, it will turn them to, it's an advantage for them to weigh their worth in gold. And that is what it is most essentially required to be fit as a fiddle. At the same time, accept the reality that development sector means you have to connect to the grassroots level. You have to work with the grassroots people who are sitting there, who have those problems, and you're meeting that problems. You're actually solving. You're helping them to come up with that sort of engagement, uh, building capacities, for the professionals like you can help them with the associated answers that you can bring upon, and you can bring change in the society. Well, hold your horses now, as the last question of today's session is, how would an upcoming professional can himself see growing in the development sector? And I know that you have answered this thing earlier as well, but what are the opportunities does one can pick to pick lucrative career?
Say lucrative is, yes, I mean, fine. Uh, See, you have to build this upon. Huh? I you structured it in a manner where each part of your work is valued. So if you are starting from a grassroots organization, or you can, or otherwise, even if you are starting with communication expert with an international organization, the key things key remains same, which is your understanding of the situation on ground, and trying how can you relate it to the macro environment, and that's where you bring solutions. So to do this, I would always say continued learning, mindfulness, peaceful negotiations, a good policy course probably from international development, and regular involvement in matters related to public affairs, going to help a professional to do best of his career wherever he is and whatever he is doing, and that career would continue to be lucrative as well as shining. So you need to do these things at the age of 25 years, or even at the age of 50 years or 60 years, and you will see you are growing. That's, I believe, that's my take on it.
And that is something which is the golden opportunity for any professional who wants to start and to turn the tide on its own way, is to think about before stepping into this industry, especially for the upcoming professionals, which they totally go by the book. And I really, and even sir has really emphasized that you need to upskill yourself with the nascent technologies and be fit as a fiddle. It's not a 9 to 5 job. You have to just keep that thing in your bag and just keep it somewhere, away from you. It's something that you need to work core to the grassroots level, understand the nuances, the nitty-gritties of the programs, how you can establish a new sort of skills, and can help with your skills to bring a new solutions to the society. Well, we all would like to conclude the session for today's, and whosoever wants to come up with the queries can definitely mail us at get@yourresumewithshruti.com. We will definitely solve your query and will come up with best possible solutions. Till then, Mr. Kallol, I would really like to thank you for the session and for your time you have taken out for us. It was something which I was more intrigued to understand how I can resolve one's problem, and especially when the upcoming professionals don't have the solution to how to step next, to make their career. So definitely it was sound to ears, and we will definitely be connected with you in coming time, and whenever we need any sort of assistance and solutions from you, we would love to call you over our session, and you can bring your insights to all of us. Thank you, sir, for your time.
Thanks, Srutiji. Thanks for having me here. And yeah, you are most welcome. I would love to work with you and all the young professionals you are working with. Thanks once again. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.